Emily, the journey from your prior corporate experience to choosing work at a utility, PG&E, learn the power industry, and then go into a startup helped you form some core elements to not only skills development, but leadership. As you look back from the perch as head of USA, what were some of the more important moments for your time in Lightsource specifically from a personal career development perspective that you would want others to be able to reflect on as either internally at the company or out in the industry?
Yeah, I think the first one that comes to mind is one of my first days. My former boss at the time said, "Okay, well, go figure out what you want to do. Go figure out your strategy. Where are we going to grow?
Mhm.
What's the strategy for Lightsource?" And coming from a bigger company, that's very freeing for me. But I think sometimes people can feel quite overwhelmed by ambiguity or
Mhm.
lack of direction. And so for me, I was like, yes, I'm in. I can do this. I pulled up my business school thinking. I pulled up all the experience that I had at school as well as at PG&E. And I said, okay, yeah, I do understand the energy markets. I do understand where are the markets where we can grow as fast as possible. We can hit the highest returns without having to wait 10 years to develop our pipeline. So it was freeing for me and it was an exciting time. But I can tell you that I've seen other people react when we have that lack of clear direction of almost like a panicked moment, especially people that come from bigger companies. And so it's okay to feel that bit of stress when you have that ambiguity. It's okay to actually voice that and say, I'm a little uncomfortable. Can you give me a bit more direction? And for me, I wasn't going to get more direction, but it was okay. And then I checked back in and made sure I was on track. And that's what's really critical, that you're checking back in with your supervisor to
Mhm.
say, am I on the right track? I'm not just going for weeks without checking in. So that's really critical. And it's also okay to voice it and say, you know what, I need a little bit more. Can you give me a little bit more? And if that supervisor says, you know what, we don't have any more direction, come back to me with some ideas, that's okay too. And then as people are thinking about joining the company or as you're recruiting for other people to join, it's important to mention that we are still fundamentally a startup. Look, we're soon to get
Mhm.
acquired by BP, which is a massive company, but we will be 100% owned by BP, which means we'll still be a 100% functioning smaller company that has a lot of that entrepreneurial spirit, that lack of
Mhm.
tons of different structures and systems. And so people have to get comfortable and have tolerance for ambiguity.